Hi, I'm Millie Tamaris.
And I'm Elise Morales.
And this is Go Touch Grass, the podcast where we log in
so you can log off.
Elise and I are two chronically online comedians, and on this pod we break down the week in internet discourse, viral memes, TikTok trends, and niche influencer drama so that you can literally do anything else with your time.
Anything else, like subscribing to our Patreon. You can get tons more content weekly, access to our Discord community, and our spin-off series Search History, where we go back and break down a viral discourse from the past. This week, our Patreon is about the New York Times podcast that also was a kind of an article and headline called Did Women Ruin the Workplace? It's a lot. I watched the entire podcast,
yes,
which is embedded into the New York Times website, so I couldn't even put it on 2x speed.
Couldn't even put it on 2x speed. That's how you know the New York Times is getting Republican and it's owned by boomers. Because what do you mean we can't watch it on 2x speed?
Couldn't watch it on 2x speed.
And I'll say this as a preview, that it's giving Jubilee. It's giving Jubilee. Two conservatives versus one I don't know.
We do still need to do a Jubilee Patreon.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't think either of us have emotionally been able to take that on, but we do still need to.
We do have to do it.
At some point.
But speaking of our Patreon, we have a Grass Nation book club on Discord. Our book this month is The Bewitching by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I guess we have to pick a new one for November, or maybe it's every other thing, but I'm still working on Bewitching. It's again a cool Mexican horror gothic. It's crazy. I'm excited. I love it.
I think the book club is casual, and that's what's good about it. It's casual in nature.
Yes.
And don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review. We love your reviews. We need more of them, but the best review you can give us is to tell your friends about the show. Post us in a story, tag us. We'll see it. We'll repost it. You know
we're online. We're online all the time. That's the premise of the show. Is hearing our voices not enough? Want to see our beautiful faces as well? Check us out on YouTube, where we have full video episodes up every weekend with extra moments you didn't get in the audio. You'll see like things that we reference. We'll put videos in. It's a fun time. And also be sure to check out our website, gotouchgrass.com, for all things Grass Nation. That's it for our housekeeping.
Yeah. And now we are very excited to bring in this guest. I know that you guys are just going to fall in love with her. She's a wonderful actor, comedian, producer, community organizer who you've seen on Instagram interviewing bodega cats on her hit series Shop Cats. Everyone, give a Grass Nation welcome to Michelladonna.
Yay! Welcome, Michella.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. It's our honor to have
the Queen of Bodega Cats.
The Queen of Bodega Cats.
The Bodega Cat Whisperer.
The Bodega Cat Whisperer. And to start, I want you to give us a kind of overview, like, tell us the story behind Shop Cats. How did it come to be? How did you come up with the idea? And like, what has the response been? And what has it been for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically I have been doing comedy for a few years, and then I started posting stuff about New York culture, because I'm born and raised here. And I was like, you know what? Let me give my testimony. And then this company reached out and they were like, would you be down to host this? So it wasn't my idea. Initially, this awesome person, Drew Rosenthal, was the creative producer on that project, and he is not from New York, but he loves cats and he loves his local bodega cat. And he was like, well, I need talent that would connect all these dots. And I went in and I was like, yeah, I would do it. And also, yes, the cat. And also culture and community. And like, I can be bilingual and I can have fun, because my favorite thing to do is improv and just like off the dome. So it ended up working where Drew was like, no, I need Michelladonna. And I was like, oh my God, Drew, I need you.
So you auditioned against other creators?
I don't believe there was a competition.
Oh, okay, good.
Nope. And I mean, because I shot the pilot and immediately they were like, let's do it. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And yeah, it's been crazy. We've been doing it for a little bit over a year, like literally a year and 2 months.
Nice.
We won a Webby. We've been on New York Times, People Magazine, HuffPost, everything.
You had Zoran on.
Today Show. Like, it's been so incredible. And it's been so exciting to be able to speak in my own terms. Like, there's no script. It's just me and my own fashion, my own kind of like direction. And it's been so much fun to see that grow. And it's been a beautiful community. The show is translated in Spanish and English, but also on Red Note, it's also in Mandarin.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, so we're like trilingual. Yeah. So it's been amazing, and I mean, I can't wait to see what happens next.
That's awesome. That's cool, and it's really like it is inspiring to be like you saying, you know, you made a choice to start speaking about New York, talking about your experience, and then through that, a project popped up that someone was like, I know of the exact perfect person for this project. And like it just all came together just because you decided to be you and do your thing.
And every day I'm reminded that doing what you actually care about and what you are having fun doing will always translate the best into whatever you're doing, because like you have a great intention and you're having fun and people can really tell. So I was just like, listen, stand-up comedy, you're that girl, but like, what if I did other things? And that has been so freeing.
Totally. And that like segues right into the next question, I feel like, which is, so you've put together a little Sabado show. So why don't you tell us about that? What do you want to highlight with that project? How is it different from Shop Cats?
I feel like it's different and similar at the same time. Lo Sabado is a Latina ass variety show that I have curated and put together. We just did our version for the New York Comedy Festival, which was insane. Basically, I watched Sabado Gigante growing up. Y'all know about Sabado Gigante?
Yeah.
If you don't know what Sabado Gigante is basically a show on Univision, and it'd be like 2 hours of chaos. Like sketches, beautiful women, families reuniting, children, animals, dancing, singing. You could win a car. Like everything was happening, and I would sit down and watch that every single Saturday. Like I have home videos of like Sabado Gigante playing in the back, and I love that show so much. And when I was trying
for like 30 years in America.
And when I thought about like, okay, what am I doing? Because you know, you always have those moments where you're like, what's going on? Really?
This morning for me.
Literally. You know? And I was like, what do I want to do? Like, do I really want to keep doing stand-up shows? Like, no, because the reality of it is that I want to cater to my communities, right? I'm queer, I'm Latina. I know that for me growing up, I never watched stand-up. There was never stand-up in my house. I would never go to a stand-up show. I only started going to stand-up when I started doing stand-up. And you know, it's enjoyable. You have good shows and you have best shows, whatever. But I was like, no. There's a million people doing that. I don't want to do that. I want to have a show that feels like I'm on a journey with everyone. I want to have a show where I can yell at the screen. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to talk back, and sometimes it's not like during a stand-up show that is heckling, but during my show it's like welcomed. I want you to yell. So it was beautiful. We had sketches based off Laura. You know Laura en America. Que salga el desgraciado.
Yeah, it's like Jerry Springer in Peru. I love that show. You know, I love that show.
Oh yeah, I'm like, that's so perfectly tailored
to me, because you know, I love watching fight videos.
Period. Walter Mercado, El Chacal. I had people winning things. I ended the show. Oh, I had drag there. I ended the show dancing with my mom.
Nice.
And when I tell you, people were sobbing, and like it was like 2 standing ovations. It was crazy. I was about to cry, but I was like, I have too much makeup on. But it was so beautiful, and I've heard so much feedback of like, I've never seen a show like this, and that was a journey, because it's not about watch this set and then watch this set. It's about you have to complete the journey together. And the whole room was there with me. And I love Lo Sabado. We just did it. I don't know when we're gonna do it again, because it's a lot of work. But it was amazing, and it was so exciting to see people from different backgrounds, because it's not only in Spanish or English, it's for everyone. I give people reference videos to watch if you've never seen these shows before. And I translate it live, aka me on the mic translating it live as much as I can.
Of course, that's a lot of work.
You know what I'm saying?
Now you know why people just do stand-up sets.
Well, yeah, but if it was, it's
hard. It's
you know
hard.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's hard, and that's why I want to do it, because if the payoff is so good,
Totally, yeah.
and it was so interesting to hear, like, if someone says something in Spanish, the Spanish speakers would laugh, and then I would translate it, and then we get another wave of laughs from the English speakers, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm getting double.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was amazing, and it's just, again, one of those things where you trust your gut. You have this crazy idea, and you know it's gonna be an uphill battle trying to sell it, because, like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? We understand stand-up. Give a stand. No, I don't want to give you that. I'm gonna give you what I want to give you, and you're gonna like it. And they did.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. See, again, it's just like following your unique vision and point of view, and like letting the stuff that you actually love and experience guide the project, and like it will work out.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what an inspiring, incredible story.
Thank you.
And speaking of inspiring, incredible stories, let's talk about another thing that may or may not have worked out. Elise, you had a software
I have a mini
update?
software update. It's a PSA. This is our segment where we will update the listeners about something we've been talking about. And I just want to let them know we're actively monitoring the situation with Ariana and Ethan at this point.
Yeah.
Rumors have now surfaced that they're actually back together or going strong. At this point, we simply don't know what's happening with Ariana and Ethan.
Yeah. So again, even though a few years ago I said that they would get proposed, like be engaged by the Week or Two premiere, we have speculated, we have gotten word that they were actually broken up, but now they're saying they're together. So we're monitoring the situation.
We have ears on the ground. We'll let you guys know when there's a more definitive answer.
Yes.
I know you guys are clamoring for
you guys
this.
are
You're
clamoring,
scared.
You're DMing us, whatever, we get it.
We get it.
And, yes. Do you have a response to Ethan and Ariana?
I just think it's so interesting. Like, imagine burning through your whole family.
Men do it every day for way less than Ariana Grande.
Okay, then I just don't deal with men that much, but I'm just like, bro, you look crazy right now. I'm gonna blame him.
Come back.
I'm gonna blame him.
He's probably like, the thing is that I know that he is, whether he's with Ariana or not, he sent his ex-wife a WhatsApp text, or like he's tried to fuck at least once. Like that's just his baby mama, his ex-wife that he blew up his life for. I'm 100% sure, whether he's with Ariana or not, just knowing the audacity of men, that he has slid either in the DMs or texted her.
So this is your next prediction.
No, I'm like, it's not even a prediction. No. I'm like, it has probably happened by now. Because these guys do this all the time. They feel some pressure, they feel whatever, and they freak out and they blow shit up.
Are we talking about the same man that
SpongeBob,
I'm looking at?
Yes, SpongeBob.
I don't understand this.
Well,
it's theater kid energy. I do, because it's theater kid stuff.
Yeah,
he's the straight guy in the theater kid cast who's really good.
Yeah. The only straight guy in the play is actually a really sexually powerful position
I know this one.
For a straight man to be in, and it does result in cheating often. And it does result in a woman like Ariana Grande dating an Ethan Slater.
What happened with Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman left his wife of like 30-something years
for Sutton Foster,
for one of his co-stars.
Yeah,
like that theater people, they be doing that shit a lot, and it's something about like, it's not even about looks, it's about like, he's talented and he's broke through. He's like the king of theater, straight guy theater kid.
Yeah, and this is a type of relationship. This isn't even just on a high level when we're talking about the Music Man Wicked. I'm saying in middle school summer stock productions, this type of behavior begins. Yeah. And now we are seeing it happening at the highest levels of celebrity.
Exactly. Exactly. Just like we saw like Beyonce and Jay-Z's breakup, like that's the highest level breakup of a guy who's not communicating like his schedule with his wife, you know? That like one of the major things was like he planned a world tour without letting her know, and like basically planned it for like he was gonna be gone out of the house like for half the year right after she had the so it's like it's a bigger scale of shit that people go through every day. So
stars, they're just like us.
Stars, they're just like us. You know who's not like us?
No. Oh my God.
President of the United States.
No. Oh no.
Today on our discourse, God.
Millie's known for her segues.
My segues. Let me tell you something, okay? You're used to bodega cats.
Yeah.
But we're some pussies on fire here.
Okay.
It's gonna get wild here. So brace your fucking
I know.
self.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
ready. It's time.
Y'all. Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein. Before we get into our discourse, so our discourse is the segment of the show where we get into what the internet is talking about.
Yeah.
What everyone's memeing.
What could it be?
What's clicking, what's this and that. And before we even get into what's happened this weekend, we have to give some context, right? I just sat and thought, when I was preparing this episode, I was like, it is insane how much media, moment, discourse, all this stuff revolves around a man who killed himself 5 years ago.
Yep.
Crazy. So who are we talking about? We're talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Michelladonna's face is like, what the fuck?
I think it's so interesting that, yes, all these things are coming out, but like the way the internet is like talking about it, I'm like, oh, we're clowning you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we're clowning you.
We're clowning you. And okay, thank you for setting this up, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back to, okay, if you're one of our new listeners from Australia or New Zealand, we love you. You're like, what the fuck is going on in America? We'll tell you. So a few months back, on our Pearl Mania episode, we specifically referred to and deconstructed the Epstein didn't kill himself meme and how people on the right were using that meme to fuel, I am not exaggerating any of this. They used that meme to fuel a conspiracy that Hillary Clinton and other popular left-wing political figures conspired to get Jeffrey Epstein murdered so he wouldn't expose the Democratic pedophilia ring.
Right. That no Republicans are involved in.
No
and
Republicans
are involved in that.
That was
Not
their
Donald
theory.
Trump.
Not Donald Trump.
Jeffrey Epstein's close
No,
personal
Donald
friend.
Trump was going to drain the swamp.
Yeah.
Donald Trump was going to expose. That's why a lot of them, their whole thing was like Donald Trump was going to expose this because he's not in the political elite. Elites are ruining everything, you know? It's ridiculous, but it's important, again, that we name what the theory was, because when you say it out loud compared to the facts, it's so crazy. So right-wing podcasts like the Joe Rogan Effect, the Tim Dillon podcast, the Andrew Schultz Flagrant podcast, they would all have lots of fun bringing up that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, making and also just making kind of disgusting jokes about young people being human trafficked, like making that into a meme. Okay, whatever. It's not my ministry, whatever. So they would all say on their podcast for years, release the files. Right. But the more that was uncovered, the more dumb they looked, because at the core of the files was Trump, the guy who showed up on all of their shows.
And they don't ask him anything.
He goes on their shows unchallenged. He did the incel press tour, got them all to vote. And the whole thing was he was going to expose the Democratic pedophilia ring.
Yeah.
On our episode with Pearl Mania, we got into Epstein's background, how he got all his money, all the connections, not just with Trump, but with multiple members of the Republican Party, especially people in Trump's 1.0 cabinet. Okay. Anyway, last Wednesday, on November 12th, Democrats on the House Oversight Committee released 3 emails on Wednesday morning from the estate of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein that mentioned Trump. They only released 3. They're very short. We're going to read them right now. Let's go. First thing. So it's to G. Max, which is Ghislaine Maxwell, who's in prison.
Of course.
Right.
Of course.
The importance is high. So first, Jeffrey Epstein sends a thing to Ghislaine that says, I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. They redacted the victim's name. Victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. No police chief, etc. I'm 75% there. And to that, Ghislaine writes back, I have been thinking about that. Does this sound like someone who's going to drain the swamp? This is from an email from April 2nd, 2011. Already Jeffrey Epstein has like been kind of through the ringer with allegations of like trafficking 36 women in South Florida that Andrew Acosta pardoned or like kind of gave him like a year probation. And Andrew Acosta,
he gave him like a sweetheart deal.
He gave him a sweetheart deal after he was convicted of trafficking 36 women, and Trump made him his cabinet member. So whatever. So this was around that time, right?
Okay.
Next email. This is to Michael Wolff, right?
Oh, Michael Wolff was he in that chat? Was he in the Signal chat?
He might have been in the Signal chat. He did write like. Michael Wolff was that reporter that was like,
oh, this is someone else,
and made the expose about Trump and like the Trump.
Right.
Basically, he like because the Trump 1.0 was such a mess and it was filled with people who like weren't completely loyal to Trump. It was so chaotic because they were trying to like suppress what Trump was doing. And basically this guy, Michael Wolff, could just like hang around and hear everything that people said. And it was not on any record. So I don't know. He just like wrote a book about it. And like,
okay. Yeah. I was thinking of someone else.
So basically, to Michael Wolff from Jeffrey Epstein says, blank Mar-a-Lago, blank, like they redacted like personal information. Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member ever. Of course he knew about the girls. He asked Ghislaine to stop. So this is from 2019. Like, so it's about 6 months before Jeffrey Epstein goes to jail for the last time. Because again, he killed himself in August 2019. So like months before, Trump was saying like, I don't know Jeffrey Epstein. Like I kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago because I knew about, like when I found out he knew about what he was doing with the girls, I kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. Basically this says like, this victim's from Mar-a-Lago, and Trump said that he kicked me out, but I was never even a member. And of course, Trump knew about the girls. He asked Ghislaine to stop. So,
I just want to speak stylistically about these emails. His way of corresponding is so chaotic. Like, first of all, caps lock off, weird punctuation, ... Like, it's very funny to me that like this is how he sends emails too.
There is a kind of ego thing when we deconstruct the email style, right? It's kind of like a man who's so powerful, he cannot be bothered.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to make his email like formatted right or look normal.
If a black woman, if a person of color had a email with typos, you're lazy, you're a piece of shit, whatever, you're non-professional, you're uneducated. A guy this powerful, this rich, it's a flex for him to not have to look over his emails.
Like literally right here it says never a member ever. Period, space, of course, starting lowercase. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Exactly. What the fuck is going on indeed. Last email. This is from Michael Wolff to Jeffrey Epstein. In 2015, again, this is like when shit was real hot and before the election, right? And then this is what Michael Wolff is saying about Trump. I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in any way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you can save him, generating a debt. Of course, it is possible when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime. And then Jeffrey says, if we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be? And then Michael Wolff says, I hear CNN planning to ask Trump tonight about his relationship with you, either on screen or in Scrum afterwards. So this is them like strategizing how to politicize their...
Yeah, I'm like, well, Michael Wolff is a fucked up person too.
There's just so many fucked up people talking to him, academics, scientists, all these kinds of people that are talking to Jeffrey Epstein, that really is just like, if you think anything about imposter syndrome, you really should give that up today. Because these people are dumb as fuck and they have so much more money than God.
Yeah.
So,
and they're putting this shit in emails to each other.
And they're putting this shit in emails to each other. And these are the three the Democrats released. So reactions to these 3 emails that were released last Wednesday. Yeah. And also, my question for you is, if you were in the White House right now, if you're working in the White House PR team, what would your strategy be to respond to them? Because we're gonna see how the White House responded.
If I saw this and I'm representing this
Donald
person,
Trump,
I'm like, first of all, I want to quit. Oh my god. And then I'd probably be like, so do you want to keep lying, or should we make a bigger lie?
So you're like, make a bigger lie.
Make a bigger lie and focus the attention somewhere else is what they usually do. That's why we have wars, right?
Well, yeah, that's true. That's what people are saying Trump is trying to do with Venezuela. But is this giving Democratic pedophilic work? Like,
no, but if I were in the cursed shoes that you're asking me to put on of being a part of the PR team surrounding Donald Trump during this time, I think what I would do is comb back through the emails and find any type of thing that you could spin to try to bolster the fake narrative that he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago or that he ended his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. I would try to find a way to twist these what seem like extremely damning and explicit emails to me. They're very good at, I mean, their base is so like warped and so obsessed with him that if they find anything that's even like remotely able to be spun in their direction, they just have to give them the excuse. So I would, if I was on this PR team, I would try to find some teensy tiny piece of whatever that I could spin out into the excuse that we're going to feed to people.
Do you think and I'm sure you're going to tell us more, but is the right like mad at him now, or?
Well, that's kind of what our episode with Pearl Mania was about like the main people who are pushing the Democrats or like the pedophiles thing. They felt like they were outwardly like, what the fuck? And they were getting clowned because everyone was like, how did you think whatever? And we were also saying that there was a period, not this time, but I feel like a few months ago, there was a camp of Trump people who really did believe that he was going to release the files and drain the swamp and all that stuff. And they were expressing disappointment months ago. You know?
Yeah, because they stopped it. They blocked it, right?
Or
something like that.
He said like, I'm not going to do it. I'm forgetting the details, but it was like.
They were trying. So his team was trying to say like, it's not necessary. We don't want to do it, whatever. Right. And then there were a contingent of Trump people, like Trump MAGA fans that were like, this is fucked up. Yeah. And that was like the beginning of like some awakening for some people publicly. Okay. And then what were you going to say?
Just that like, it seems like it was a moment where he actually genuinely pissed his base off a little bit, which is kind of so rare with him that it was interesting. And one of the things
he was shook.
Yeah, he was shook by it. And it's just wild because like, to me, so obviously these emails are super interesting. It's wild to see these people like literally explicitly talking about this in email, but I have been convinced of Donald Trump's ties to Jeffrey Epstein the whole fucking time. So I'm just like, well, yeah, for sure. Yeah. All of that completely folds into what I already believed to have been the case and to be what's happening.
There were a lot of people who didn't.
I know. That's what surprises
me. Didn't believe it at all.
And so what happened?
Okay, exactly. Okay. So you said you would make a bigger lie. Yeah. And you said you would try to spin it. So what the this is what I think happened. So on Wednesday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said a statement to NPR that said, in part, quote, the Democrats selectively leaked emails to the liberal media to create a fake narrative to smear President Trump. These stories are nothing more than bad faith efforts to distract from President Trump's historic accomplishments, and any American with common sense sees right through this hoax and clear distraction from the government opening back up again. During a press briefing, Leavitt reiterated that the emails, quote, prove absolutely nothing other than that the President Trump administration did nothing wrong, and said that the administration, quote, has done more with respect to transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein than any administration ever. So that's what the White House said. Republicans on the House Oversight Committee later on Wednesday, after these 3 emails were released, released a set of 20,000 documents that include all of the emails from Epstein's frequently expressing displeasure with Trump and his presidency, financial market reports, and other court documents. So this is what I think the Republicans tried to do. I think, right, Caroline Leavitt's like deny, and then would try to spin,
right.
and then the House Oversight Committee is like, we're just going to dump all these things and drown people because that is the Trump strategy. They do so much at once that people feel overwhelmed and they can't respond to anything.
Yeah.
So, but people started digging. Right? So among one of the emails, I thought this was funny. Among them was one email that says, quote, from Jeffrey Epstein to former Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers. He said, quote, this is Jeffrey Epstein, a man who got convicted and has probably trafficked hundreds of young people.
Yeah.
And these are all people.
And that's like a conservative estimate.
That's a conservative estimate. Definitely at least convicted for trafficking at least 36 people, probably more. But he said, quote, I have met some very bad people, none as bad as Trump. Not one decent cell in his body. So that's one thing that they found in the email. Next, this new, I know that was so funny.
Like, oh my God.
An evil pedophile says,
I know, I just need to sit with the fact that one of the most evil people on earth was like, Donald Trump fucking sucks.
Okay. So Courier, I know this is so.
I'm like,
we're shocking.
This is crazy. Honestly, I don't like to watch the news anymore because it scares me. I just like to fight, and so this just seems like a crazy novela that every step it gets crazier. Except this is our president.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So
yes.
This Courier Newsroom, which is an independent publication, they made a database where you can they made a tool basically. They made a tool where you can search all of the 20,000 documents, and they basically ask people, send us anything interesting you find. So now we're going to watch a video that they did recapping this.
Okay. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Okay.
And scared.
I know, I'm like, wow, I'm ready.
And it's like a 3-minute video, but I'm like, we gotta kind of watch all of it because it's kind of good.
So last night I created this tool that allows anyone to easily search through all 20,000 documents released by Congress this week from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. There are thousands of pages of emails about everything you can imagine. Wealthy island visitors, women he trafficked, ways he could blackmail his friend here, you name it. But in true government fashion, they were published in the most unhelpful way possible, in dozens of poorly organized folders with unhelpful labels, screenshots of emails saved as PDFs, and in spreadsheets redacted beyond recognition. Most of the files are devoid of context, such as a 20-second video in the natives folder, whatever that means, of a dog playing with 2016 plushies of Trump and Hillary Clinton.
Ma chi è quello lì? Ma ti piace questo pupazzotto?
Someone could dig through these folders for days and find nothing. So I put an online search tool together, published it, and asked you guys to send me whatever interesting tidbits you found. And you did not disappoint. Here's a small sample of the truckload of tips I received in the first 12 hours since the tool went live. So here, Erica G and Aisha H both recommended searching for Ivanka and came across Michael Wolff asking Epstein about a woman Trump allegedly raped in his 12-year-old daughter's room at Mar-a-Lago. Drew Yu went through a 2018 email chain on pardons and came across this proposal, which appears to be an initial attempt to buy Epstein a pardon. In it, they promise that they will help Mr. Epstein in resolving his existing disputes with the federal government without any jail time, and that their contacts in Trump's DOJ could obtain an advantageous agreement in exchange for Mr. Epstein's cooperation. Now, it looks like that didn't all pan out before he was arrested, but the groundwork is there. I was sent some messaging chains from Nick M that have crazy media coaching going on between Epstein and Steve Bannon. Bannon was taking Epstein's advice on ways to keep the cameras rolling on him, and based on their conversations, it looks like it worked. Epstein kept encouraging Bannon to stoke class divide with his go-to tool, racism. He also took the time to compliment Bannon on his physical appearance, which apparently the physical embodiment of chronic alcoholism is concerned about. And another surprise, the fascist surrounded by Nazis doesn't like being called Hitler. Now here's a really cool one Heather H sent over. So one of the big stories going around is about how when things started coming out about Prince Andrew, Epstein told his accomplice that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. This is a cryptic literary reference that's unlikely anyone who writes emails like Epstein does would actually know. In Epstein's possession was a summary of the Edward Snowden saga, where his lack of preparing anything other than an escape route to Russia was a clue that this was his only planned destination. It was something that in hindsight should have been obvious, but at the time, no one put those pieces together and Snowden was able to make his escape. So essentially what Epstein was telling Maxwell is that, like Snowden, Trump's involvement in Epstein's world should have been obvious, and that should have been made more so by his uncharacteristic silence on the matter. But like Snowden, it looked like no one would put the pieces together until Trump was safely away from danger. And up until recently, it seems like he was right. And what I've just gone over barely scrapes the surface. I've got tons more tips. In fact, a couple dozen people sent me tips while I was making this video. There's thousands of things in this document, and it's impossible for one person to find everything, even with these handy little search tools. So if you come across anything, or if you have any questions what's in there, definitely let me know. Leave something in the comments, and we'll see what we can find.
Whew.
So, how do you feel the Republicans respond to her? How did it work?
Well, it didn't.
Yeah, it definitely didn't make the situation better.
Oh my gosh.
In any way, shape, or form. I do feel like maybe some of what we're seeing here is, again, that like our lawmakers are so old that like back in the day, releasing this like inaccessible data dump of stuff, they're like, no one could look through this. And it's like, actually, we have AI now.
Yeah.
People are like, we've got a bunch of computer whizzes on the case. This is actually an extremely online group of people that are interested in this.
Yeah.
I promise you, if you release digital files, someone will find a way to comb through all of them for the most relevant information.
Yeah. Well, any other thoughts about what we just saw?
Yeah, but you haven't brought up the thing that...
We're bringing that up. This is all content.
We're amping up to the
We're
big thing.
amping up into the big
so
thing.
that one was crazy.
Yeah, so basically, exactly. So, Bubba Gate.
Okay, let's
time.
talk about it.
It's time. Okay, so basically, yes. Who's Jeffrey Epstein? What happened? All these emails released. One of the emails that they found was an email that was sent in March 2018, where Mark Epstein, brother of Jeffrey Epstein, told Epstein to ask Steve Bannon, Trump's former chief strategist, if Russian President Vladimir Putin had the, quote, photos of Trump blowing Bubba. Quote, you and your boy Donnie can remake the movie Get Hard, Mark Epstein wrote. Some of the documents that mention Trump again, including the one from Thing, references photos of Trump blowing Bubba, and Bubba is famously a nickname for President Bill Clinton. So, of course, the internet went crazy.
Oh my God.
And basically, there was a ton of memes on every platform.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was joking. I'm going to divide up the three kind of common camps that I see. So camp one was, basically everyone's making memes of Trump going down on Bill Clinton.
100%.
Let's see some of my favorites.
Let's get some of the memes.
Okay.
That's the email where he mentions, it's a little small, but this is the actual email about Bubba.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got the receipts, bitch. I was looking at archives. I got it.
Okay.
So that's the email. And then, so this is from Secular Talk, and it says game recognized game. And it's Donald Trump. It's an old picture of Donald Trump shaking Nancy Reagan's hand. Can anyone explain this meme to me?
I can.
I mean, I know it, but
can.
Explain it to the people who may be uninitiated.
There is a pervasive rumor online that has existed for a long time.
That's come from like a biography or something.
I don't know where it came from, but it is widely talked about online that Nancy Reagan was known for giving really good head, that she was the throat goat, that she was known for giving good head. This is something that pops up online often. It is an existing meme that happens. So in this meme, they are shaking hands, and it is a reference to that.
Yeah, so it's saying basically Donald Trump is acknowledging the queen throat goat Nancy Reagan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the game recognized game.
Yeah.
Next meme. So the White House then tweeted, "I can't help falling in love with you," and it's a picture of Donald Trump and Melania like hugging and kissing on the cheek. And somebody, Buffy, ratioed it and said use the wrong photo, and it's a vintage photo of Donald Trump meeting Bill Clinton and smiling and like holding hands. And they ratioed the White House by a lot.
Wow.
And you know that like matters to them. Like the people who run the White House Twitter, they know about being ratioed, and it like matters to them. It hurts them
They
to be
care
ratioed
so much. Another thing. So why don't you talk about this?
Okay, yeah. So it's a green pot, and it says she's sorry.
It's Le Creuset.
Sure. Okay.
So
I
Le
don't cook,
Creuset.
so.
Okay, you don't cook. Okay,
No.
So Le Creuset is a very expensive cookware that's really popular, and it's its own segment of cookware. Cookware internet. So then somebody posts.
Okay. Somebody posted it and said she's so perfect in all caps, and then somebody on top of that said they are beautiful and I'm sure great quality, but for $400 that cook au vin better give me Donald.
So what is that? What do you think?
Wait, now you got confused.
Okay, so coq au vin is a very popular French dish that like requires like it being stewed for a long time.
Okay.
So basically, they're saying
the point is this pot is so expensive, it better give me head.
Yeah,
but you're saying giving me Donald.
Give me Donald instead of give me head.
Oh my God, we're using it as a verb.
Yeah,
we're using it as a verb.
Okay.
We're using it as a verb.
It's making moves into verb territory.
It's making moves into verb territory. Next thing. Oh, okay. We'll go back. So that's one way, right? That's one camp is just like general memes about Trump.
Yeah.
Brokeback Mountain stuff.
Okay.
All this stuff like Melania is Michelle Williams and Brokeback Mountain seeing Trump or whatever.
Yeah.
People are saying Trump was jealous of Hillary Clinton because, whatever. So, and then there was a tweet that resurfaced from 2015 where Trump said something about Hillary Clinton not going down on Bill Clinton. And now with new fresh eyes, everyone's like, wow, he was.
You knew.
We knew. Like,
he knew that from an intimate place.
Actually, you knew who was going down.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's one camp, right?
Yeah.
The next camp is who didn't go down on Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton. Another very important thing to bring. Who didn't go down on Bill Clinton? Whatever. Am I the only one who hasn't slept with Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton has aura. And then it became like Bill Clinton fan cams. Like that went really popular, like real viral on TikTok. The song I Was Getting Some Head, spliced with like a slideshow of Bill Clinton. That kind of stuff. People saying stuff about Hillary. And then kind of like the Bill Clinton aura and Donald Trump thing converged into people calling Donald Trump Donica Lewinsky after the woman who the intern who did
Monica Lewinsky. She was an intern.
She was an intern.
The power dynamic.
It was so messed up. I mean,
he's a disgusting person.
He's got something that people want, but whatever.
I mean, but sometimes the people don't want it, and he does it anyway.
Exactly.
So I think that's also kind of fundamental to the issue here.
Yes. So that was that was a camp, and the most kind of crazy camp to me are like there's like two kind of things. It's like rape culture means Trump like fans, and it's like the people who are like, well, it's not that big a deal. So here's one tweet. Like this was a whole genre of people from different. So at Christopher LaDonna LLC goes, at 22, as a first-year teacher, I engaged in a consensual encounter with a 16-year-old who was not my student. There was no force, coercion, or predatory intent. Because I was employed as a teacher, the contact was classified as a tier 3 sex offense and requires lifetime placement as a sexual registry. Whatever. And then someone says Epstein emails released and everyone coming out as a pedophile to defend Donald Trump.
I mean, this is an insane thing to tweet. Well, I had sex with a 16-year-old and I actually was charged. I'm like, whoa.
From his LLC account.
From his LLC.
What?
From his LLC.
So this was a very common response that all these guys were saying. It was crazy. It was like, it's not that bad, whatever. Here's another tweet from Lil Duval, who's like a rapper, comedian, whatever. And he said, quote, "Why do people still care so much about the Epstein files? If you do find out something wild, it still won't change anything at this point. It's like people just want to prove that they right." Somebody responded, said, "If you do something wild, it still won't change anything at this point." And then they screenshotted old tweets from Little Duval. And I'm going to read the next four out loud. These are crazy tweets. Next thing. Somebody screenshotted, "Whenever my daughter's period starts, that's when I'm going to be the first dude to dog her out." That's from 2012. One from May of 2012 says, "Most of y'all saying y'all started thinking about sex at 11 or 12. Okay, cool. My daughter moving in with me at 10.
What?
So I guess he was just like trying to protect his daughter's sexuality. Then in 2010, he tweets, hashtag Justin Bieber possessed fan. "Hey, Justin, could you please rape me and my daughter, then hit me with a bat if I get out of line?" And then in 2012, he says, "Be real, fellas. If you fucked a girl and she has a daughter that you seen grow up, would you fuck her when she grew up?" So basically, Lil Duval's like, why is this a thing? People look into it. He has problematic tweets.
Oh my God.
So-
It's more than problematic tweets. He's like
very-
obsessed with having sex with his daughter?
And okay, so that's kind of one thing, right? Is like these guys doing dog whistles at themselves. And another thing that one of our pod favorites, Megyn Kelly, is another argument that people were saying was like, well, it's not technically pedophilia, it's ebophilia because they're teens. They're not actually children. It's not like they're 8. Let's hear what Megyn Kelly had to say.
Okay.
And then we're going to hear a response.
Okay.
I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. And that is what I believed. And that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos of alleged, forgive me, they used to call it kiddie porn. Now they call it child sexual abuse material on his computer, that for the first time I thought, oh no, he was an actual pedophile. I mean, only a pedophile gets off on young children abuse videos. She's never clarified it. I don't know whether it's true. I have to be honest. I don't really trust Pam Bondi's word on the Epstein matters anymore. Yeah, so I don't know what's true about him, but we have yet to see anybody come forward and say, I was I was under 10. I was under 14 when I first came within his purview. Look, you can say that's a distinction without a difference.
No, it's not.
I think there is a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. You know, it's just whatever.
What?
Okay, so let's keep our things on and watch the next thing, because a 14-year-old clapped back.
Jesus Christ.
So this is a response from a 14-year-old girl who clapped back on TikTok and now has millions of likes.
Hey, Megyn Kelly. I'm Eloise and I'm 14 years old. I wasn't even going to say anything because the topic is an adult one. My mom even made a video about it yesterday because we didn't feel it was an appropriate topic for a child to speak about. But after hearing you go on camera and explain that Epstein wasn't into 8-year-olds, just the barely legal type like 15, I realized you might need an actual reality check from a literal child. So let me help you out. Megyn, people in my grade are turning 15 right now. Some of us still have baby faces. Some of us still have braces. Some of us still call our parents when we're scared at night. Some of us still look like middle schoolers because we basically are. And the fact that a grown woman needs a teenager to explain that is honestly terrifying. Here's the part you seem confused about. Under federal law, anyone under 18 is a child. No asterisk. No, but they hit puberty. No, older kids don't count. Anyone under 18 is a child. You said you were just giving facts, but here's the real fact. What you said wasn't factual. It was minimizing. It was making abuse sound like a technicality. And Megan, here's the part you really need to hear. If a 14-year-old has to get on the internet and explain to a grown adult with national platform that children are children and there's no age where abuse suddenly becomes less bad, then the problem isn't confusion, it's corruption. Because kids my age aren't supposed to be the ones correcting you. We're not supposed to be the moral compass in a room full of adults who should have known better. But here we are. If my voice makes you uncomfortable, good, it should. Because the minute adults start defending predators by debating the age of a child, you're not protecting the truth. You're protecting the predator. And you shouldn't need a freshman to tell you.
Period, girl.
Yeah, I mean, she ate her up.
What?
Yeah.
And for her to say, I'm just sharing the facts is like,
That's
oh
her
my God.
bullshit,
Yeah.
She's crazy.
Well, and it's also like, she's like, he was into the barely legal type, like 15. And I'm like, well, 15 is illegal, actually. It's just fully illegal for you to
not
be.
barely. I think it's actually.
Yeah, it's actually
fully illegal.
fully illegal for at least 3 more years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, that's not even
God.
like, she's saying one thing and then talking about actually a completely different thing.
Yeah. So I mean, that is kind of like. It's kind of like usually in a Trump scandal. Again, you asked the question earlier. How are people who like kind of justify everything Trump says and does?
Yeah.
How are they handling this? And it's like, it is this has backfired in such a crazy way to them that even people who would typically can defend Trump out of everything, because these people are like, groceries aren't that expensive anymore. The economy got better. There are people who voted for him thinking like he makes the economy better. And like,
Yeah.
they always are going to find an excuse, but even the people that do are getting cooked in a way
Good.
like on epic proportions. It's like, this is one thing that he can't get out of. And it's crazy. Like every time I feel like it's gotten worse, it gets worse. Like,
Yeah.
like every time I'm like, it's so clear, whatever, even more like damning things happen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So just to wrap this up, on Friday, next slide, Trump was blasting the Phantom of the Opera soundtrack at the White House, and he emptied out his Friday schedule. Elise, as someone who is both like majored in political science, you know the inner workings of what it is to be in the White House.
Yes,
and also
I do.
you do have like you are a theater kid. Tell us what this means.
It's never good for someone to be engaging with Andrew Lloyd Webber in this way.
Yeah.
This is the mark of serious mental distress, especially for Donald Trump, because Donald Trump has a love for Andrew Lloyd Webber. This is actually known. This is not the first time he's been caught blasting Phantom during times of distress. I think it was during one of the impeachments, or maybe after January 6th, he was driving his golf cart around Mar-a-Lago blasting Phantom.
Cats and Phantom.
Also Cats. He's blasted Memory from Cats. He loves
Cats. He loves Phantom.
It's funny because he's like the ultimate 80s New York guy.
Yeah.
So it does make sense that like he probably went to the premiere of all these Andrew Lloyd Webber famous musicals. And so now he's like kind of a queen when it comes to like fucking Andrew Lloyd Webber.
He was a reality TV star.
Yeah.
Like he's into entertainment. Like it's like, okay, sure. I'm just like, who heard that? How did you hear that?
Oh, people like hear like passerby's press, and then like
I think he really bumps it too, because again, this has
like
happened
the whole
before.
speakers, right? Because he put
the
like
whole
a speaker
house.
system.
Yeah.
So he put it through the whole house. This is all like I found it on MSNBC and like some random things. It's not like by the New York Times or anything.
Yeah.
But like, people.
He's known to do
He's
this.
known to blast Phantom of the Opera, and like Phantom of the Opera. I'm just like, is there a theme of like a scorned man or anything?
I
like
mean,
that?
certainly there are a lot of interesting themes in Phantom of the Opera to try to compare to why Donald Trump would feel a connection to a musical about like a masked man who lives away and no one really understands him, and he's like vilified and forced into being the villain, and then is also obsessed with a beautiful Christine. It's very interesting that he seems generally to love Andrew Lloyd Webber and then also to be particularly obsessed with Phantom. And I do wish that in the reporting about this, that they would be more specific about what song
I could
from
have probably
Phantom.
Did, but
They often just say he's blasting Phantom, and I'm like, but is he blasting like the Phantom of the Opera, or is it like, different ballads that are in there? Like, I want to know.
Ask him.
I want to know more.
Okay, before we move on from Bubba Gate, I think there was one thing about like they were talking about like was the 2016 election basically like side bitch versus main bitch?
Yes, right. That's another thing, right? And who's the side bitch? Who's the main bitch? And can you talk a little bit more about like what are those common tropes that we see online? Because that's referencing a whole other subculture that people might not even know.
Yeah, I mean those are the memes that I've been getting on my feed of like Hillary and Donald Trump like both going for the presidency and Bill Gates being like, they want me so bad. Sorry, what did I say?
Gates.
Oh my God.
It's okay. A lot of things.
Well, anyways, Bill Clinton. And it's been interesting to see that. Like, I mean, that election was so traumatic for me. That was the first time I could vote, and it was so sad. It was so traumatic, and to now picture it being like, y'all were fighting over dick. That's crazy. And then
so people are saying that it's like when you see a main bitch or a wife,
like my wife,
with a side bitch on the internet.
Yeah, and it's like he'll come home. He knows where to go. When is it? He knows how.
Yeah, it's
he knows,
like
he
usually
home.
the main bitch will be like, it doesn't matter if he sleeps around. He's coming home to me.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
Whatever.
And then other people are like, the concept of our first LGBT president being Trump is like, what?
Wow.
But I
Historic.
think everyone gay, one. And two, like, please, like, first of all, I think everyone's working with each other, like Republicans, Democrats. I don't care if you got money, you at the same parties, and
that's what a lot of this shows.
That's what a lot of this shows, and that's what a lot of the emails show is that he's emailing people from all sides of this.
And it's just like, I mean, I forgot what my point was, but it's crazy out there, and it's also like, is Trump our first queer president? But I
think Abraham Lincoln has a claim.
Yeah, that's what O'Mary's about. Is that Abraham Lincoln was.
There's a lot of rumors about Abraham Lincoln. He had a buddy that slept in bed with him for a long time.
So he's actually
I thought Cola Scola was mad creative. I was like, I would have never thought of that.
I think like they took obviously liberties, but based in, that's why it's
there's a long-standing rumor about Honest Abe.
Miss Abe, yeah. So okay. There was also proof on top of the Phantom of the Opera thing. There was also proof that there were late night meetings happening, like kind of crisis meetings, that Thursday and Friday, Wednesday, or that Wednesday. And again, this is the same guy who can't even make it through a fat phobic obesity presentation without sleeping. Yeah, that was also last week. So in the same week, he's like falling asleep at like very important meetings where they're like every fat person in the country has to go on Ozempic, and then in the same week and he's sleeping through that. And you haven't heard of Ozempic?
I'm telling you, I do not watch the news anymore because I'm like,
because it's all shit like this.
It's all shit like this, but it's also like you gotta know what kind of crazy shit they're doing.
I mean, I just know they're taking people out of their homes and off of their jobs and off of the street for like, being innocent people.
Of all the people, somehow like I saw the statistic of like of all the people ICE raided, like only 16 of them have criminal records. Like, great. It's so fucking. But these are the people, right? Yes. Okay. So, Mark Epstein, literally today or last night, or today, came out and said, no, guys, Bubba is not Bill Clinton. Bubba is actually Ghislaine Maxwell's horse. So then people are like, okay, so Vladimir Putin has a picture of President Trump sucking a horse's dick? That's worse. And
what?
Okay, yes. So let's let that sit with you for a second.
What?
He's saying it's a horse and it's a joke. It's not literal. And also, Bubba is not Bill Clinton. It's a horse.
This is a Black Mirror episode. It's the first episode in the series.
It's so funny to me that every attempt to explain anything makes
so
it worse.
Much worse.
It could maybe be a joke, but explaining it and coming back and saying, well, actually it's a horse and it's a joke is not like that does not help. It's similar to like Josh Johnson, that stand-up who does Daily Show, was talking about the Megyn Kelly stuff, and he was like, is there technically a difference between these two things? Yeah, but there's never a good reason to be discussing that difference.
Ebophilia versus pedophilia.
Yeah, like there's never a good reason for us to be like splitting hairs there. Like just leave it.
You sound weird.
And this is one of those things where it's like it actually doesn't help for you to come out and be like, it's actually a horse.
Well.
And we're joking.
So the horse thing.
Yeah.
You're like, well,
I'm losing my mind over
today.
here.
I know. Well, today, guys.
Yeah.
Republicans are like, guess what? Actually released all the files. We don't have anything to hide. And then Donald Trump truth socialed this. As I said this was from last night, Sunday.
Okay.
As I said on Friday night aboard Air Force One to the fake news media, House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files because we have nothing to hide. It's time to move on from this Democrat hoax perpetuated by radical left lunatics in order to deflect from the great success of the Republican Party, including our recent victory on the Democrat shutdown. The Department of Justice has already turned over tens of thousands of pages to the public on, quote, Epstein, and are looking at various Democratic operatives, Bill Clinton, Reid Hoffman, Larry Summers, etc., and their relationship to Epstein. And the House Oversight Committee can have whatever they are legally entitled to. I do not care, all caps. All I do care about is that the Republicans get back on point, which is the economy, quote, affordability, where we are winning, all caps, big. Our victory on reducing inflation from the highest level in history to practically nothing, bringing down prices for the American people, delivering historic tax cuts, gaining trillions of dollars of investment into America, a record, the rebuilding of our military, securing our borders, deporting criminal, illegal aliens, ending men and women's sports, stopping transgender for everyone, and so much more.
Stopping transgender for everyone is so crazy.
Nobody cared about Jeffrey Epstein when he was alive, and if the Democrats had anything, they would have released it before a landslide electoral victory. Some members of the Bloc Party, of the Republican Party, are being used, and we can't let that happen. Let's start talking about the Republican Party's record-setting achievements and not fall into the Epstein all caps trap, which is actually a curse on the Democrats, not us. All caps, make America great again.
Ooh.
What do you guys feel?
I thought okay, because I'm confused because what I did see was that he was coming at his own shorty.
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene. He did, because Marjorie Taylor Greene was. So there are 4 Republicans. So right now, okay.
And I don't know anyone.
So basically, the next step, right, to release all the files officially, like all of them, like, because there's even more.
And who has it?
The Department of Justice.
Okay.
But I guess the Congress has to vote, and I guess has to get passed to Senate, and ultimately Trump has to sign it, right? So the 218th person, the tiebreaker. Yeah. So basically 4 Republican women, Nancy Mace, who's like constantly shitting and is complaining about trans people in bathrooms. Lauren Boebert misjacked her boyfriend off at Beetlejuice.
Yeah, not even husband.
Not even her husband. Boyfriend off at Beetlejuice. And the Beetlejuice play.
A lot of musical theater coming into today's episode.
The arts.
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene, they were basically going to vote with the Democrats to release the files. Okay. And then Trump started coming down on all of them. Right. And he called out MJT. Yeah. But MTJ. But also, like, people are like, oh my God, is Marjorie Taylor Greene woke now? And it's just because, like, Trump crossed her a long time ago. Trump tried her and said, you can't go for a Senate. You have to stay in Congress. So she's now like, fuck you. And she's doing like all the anti-Trump stuff. Oof. And then Trump attacked her. And now their pivot is that they have nothing to hide.
Okay, so sign it. Mm-hmm. So I guess we'll see in the next week.
Girl, they're what do you mean? They're just like, it's interesting, right? Because neither of your strategies said publish
more.
Yeah.
Release more information.
And every time they release more, it gets crazy. So I guess to me, I just think, So this went out, and then we got this meme. Liam Neeson wrote, the Epstein Democrats are a hoax, and then someone said
Epstein emails are
a Democrat hoax. And one of the guys from Simpsons said, what did he say? And the other guy said, I don't know, something about sucking dick. So it's backfired. People don't believe it. To me, I'm just like, I feel like this is the worst case scenario for Trump, where it's like all he wanted was to be famous, to be a reality star, to have all this power and stuff. And he fought so hard and did so many evil things to accomplish being the most powerful person in the world. And at the end of the day, people are making memes about your worst enemy, like you're sucking your worst enemy's dick. And specifically for Trump, I think that this is his nightmare. I think this is the worst possible thing that could happen to Donald Trump.
I mean, one of my big feelings as all of this was coming out is like, I would just give anything to be a fly on the wall for the moment where they had to tell him that this was going on and that this was found in the emails, and like, hey,
and that's the memes about it.
So everyone online is kind of saying that you sucked Bill Clinton's dick because of this email, and it's actually going pretty far. A lot of people are talking about it. Sir, I just want to let you know, Mark Epstein has clarified that you sucked a horse's dick, actually. Like, it's just not something. Like, no wonder
That's
he's blasting
impressive.
Phantom.
To be the intern that's like printing it out and being like,
yeah, hi, sir.
Writing
Could
it on
you
the
review the documents that are on your desk?
The intern's not. If the intern was smart, the intern would give it to the right hand. Like, sometimes you gotta be like, this is what I found, you give it to him, and then it's like the most gently. But
yeah, I wonder who is actually tasked with giving him that information.
Not his kids.
No.
Maybe
no,
Barron.
Maybe Barron.
He likes
Dad,
Barron.
just so you know, everyone online saying you sucked Bill Clinton's dick, and then actually now they're saying you sucked a horse's dick.
They're white. You have to say cock. It's their culture. They sucked Bill Clinton's cock.
Hey, Dad, everyone's saying online that you sucked Bill Clinton's cock.
They say cock with a Y. Kiak.
Cock. Okay. Are we ready for the final segment?
Yes.
Are we ready to put down all of that and talk about something with no international implications of any kind? Completely, honestly, low-level drama that affects very few people in the world.
I'm so ready.
Please. Wonderful. So this is our final segment. This is called Grasshole of the Week. This is where we declare the person, people, groups that need to log off the most. And I'm going to say that we're going to decide here today who our grasshole is. There are two sides of this conflict. We will decide which side needs to log off. Maybe both sides need to log off. Maybe no one. We're going to come to a conclusion today.
Okay.
I think grasshole behavior is occurring, but we're going to decide. So today we are talking about content creator Elyse Meyers, spelled differently from me. She's a different Elyse.
Okay.
And BookTok versus BookTok. So who is Elyse Meyers? So this is her. She's a content creator. She's a comedian. She has, get ready for it, 7.1 million followers on TikTok and 3.9 million on Instagram.
Wow.
She is popular for doing like funny story time videos. And it seems like her big breakout was in 2021. She did a TikTok where she told the story of a first date that somehow resulted in her buying 100 tacos.
Oh my God.
This is like the type of story that people on TikTok love. That's her vibe. Her vibe is very like relatable, candid. She talks a lot about having ADHD and anxiety and being on the autism spectrum. She's
everybody on TikTok.
Yeah, she's like, but she, I think, is like maybe an early adopter and like quintessential foundational character of the form that we're talking about. I wouldn't call her a discourse inducer, but she has induced discourse in the past. I think she took like a long social media break at one time.
Wow.
I think she's gone through periods where people don't fuck with her, so they do fuck with her. I kept hearing that she's associated with Hillsong in some way. Like she used to be in Hillsong, now she's not, she left, whatever. But generally her vibe is like relatable, quirky girl.
Okay.
That's her. BookTok refers to a thriving community on TikTok where people discuss authors, books, debuts. A lot of it gets into like the Indian self-publishing community. It's a really big corner of TikTok that we talk about here, and it's
a lot of drama.
And sometimes, and especially in this story, when you like are referring to BookTok, it actually also bleeds into like Threads and Twitter. It's like basically anywhere online that people are discussing books now, it kind of is BookTok.
Yeah.
Like just how like the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives refer to themselves as mom talk, irrespective of like being on TikTok. BookTok is now basically like an umbrella term for communities discussing books online.
That skew female.
Definitely skew female, but like not entirely. I mean, definitely like I would say it's like a very queer space. It's a very quote unquote woke space. That type of stuff. So why are they fighting? So Elyse Meyers just released her new book, That's a Great Question, I'd Love to Tell You, on October 28th, and it quickly became a New York Times bestseller. Again, she's got 7 million followers on TikTok. And this was all good until a woman named Allison Rose Vintage posted this to Threads. So this is a review. She has a picture of the book, and she says, "No, I'm sad I don't like this book at all. Has anyone else tried reading it? It's not at all like the stories she tells in her videos. I'm on the 5th essay, and I think I have to stop reading it. Ugh." So thoughts on this tweet or thread? This is a thread.
Shady.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just put the book down? Question mark.
Yeah, I mean, I can see both sides. On one side, it's like, well, like a book is different than a video. And also, like, if somebody goes viral for telling stories, I bet like half of the stories are fake. And like they have to make it more dramatic. And it's about her telling the story, not necessarily like her writing. I don't know. But also I'm like, I don't know if I paid money and I'm like a random person, I'm going to post like, I don't know, like I'm whatever. And I still post like, I didn't like this story or this movie wasn't hitting for me. Like,
it's not like a nasty tweet, I would say. It's not like particularly pointed, but it is a public saying, I don't like the book. So there you go. So Elyse Meyers sees this and she responds. So this is the next post. Instagram decided to put this in my feed as a post I might like, so now I'm here. I'm bummed you don't like it, but not at all offended. Everyone has different tastes in books, and that's okay. Please feel free to return it. So what do we think of the response?
I liked it.
You like it.
Classy. It was like, I don't even need your money.
Yeah.
Send it back.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I'm like, if you're really not offended, would you make a post about it? And also, please feel free to return it. It's like people get books all the time that they don't return. Like, I don't know. I'm just like,
You guys are already reflecting the two poles of the argument. So this is good. Some people are like, she did it exactly right. Some people are like, why are you here? Yeah. That's like basically what's going to happen. So then we have another response from the OP who says, this is why I didn't tag or name you in the post. I just wanted to hear from others if they felt the same way I did. I'm so sorry you saw this, and I hope all the positive comments canceled out anything negative. I said I still love you, and I do, and I'm glad I didn't offend you. Hearing from others made me learn that I probably need to listen to the audiobook. So, okay.
That's fair. That's
overall
nice.
interaction. It doesn't, I've certainly seen more vicious interactions online. But the reason why BookTok becomes pissed about this is because there is a unspoken rule of author etiquette in general. And it is like a very important rule of BookTok and these spaces that the idea is like authors are not supposed to respond to reviews, and you're not supposed to be in what they call reader spaces. Yeah. So this is like, you shouldn't be looking at your Goodreads reviews or responding to your Goodreads reviews. You shouldn't be responding to Amazon reviews. Those are spaces for readers to talk to talk candidly about the book. Yeah. And like, you shouldn't be fucking around in there as an author. So here's one example of the many comments. It's this person, Metal and the Geek, said, "Nope, I love your content, Elise, but you don't go into reader spaces as an author. Even being polite, you have millions of followers who can make this poster's life a living hell for simply stating an opinion. Don't do this."
I mean, I also get that. I think like her responding, that's why I'm like, I wouldn't respond. Like, you can't get into, and like, if you made a fake If you made a burn, that's why people make burners. That's why you. What do you think?
I mean, I don't respond to bad comments because I've learned that just attracts more.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, if you're gonna interact with this, watch what I can do. I mean, learning about this culture is very interesting. Like, you're not. I didn't know that. So I guess if she has to be aware that is a thing, right? Like, it's not. It can't.
So that's what's kind of like hard to say. So if we go to this next slide, she keeps responding.
Oh.
And she's like, basically, this is another person telling her, like, hey, you're not supposed to do this. This is not how, like, this is done.
Okay.
And she says, this isn't something I was aware of. Thank you for letting me know. I'm purposefully not going out of my way to look at anything related to my book, but Instagram has been serving me content like this the last couple of days, and I'm not sure how to avoid it. I thought I was doing the right thing by letting people know it's totally okay not to like my book, and I'm just grateful they gave it a shot, and I will stay but I will stay out of it completely from here on out. I'll try and filter my content better. So kind of what she's saying is like, I'm not even like really going into reader spaces, but if you are looking up your own book on Instagram, like Instagram is going to serve you stuff about your own book.
I know, but like she's still replying, and it's just like, I just remember one time me and some other people on Twitter were talking shit about Whitney Cummings, and she started liking like my things, the other person thinks, she responded really whatever, and it's just like, girl, like, you have all this money, you have all this fame, like, I should be able to say like your joke was racist or this joke sucked or you're unfunny, but but it's like, yeah, what are you doing here? And then like, this is like, I don't know, it like, that is why, of course, if someone's like, you're an ugly bitch who needs to die, I'm replying, I'm whatever. But like, someone just saying like, it wasn't for me, like, I get it. But and then this is weird. Like, it's kind of like, I'll try, but like, it's hard. It's served to me. It's just like,
I do see how it could be served to her. Like,
yeah,
if
it could be served
if
to
you're
her.
like looking up your book, like Instagram will do that. So basically this interaction starts going super viral and people start making tons of TikToks about it. And like, I watched a bunch of them. They are all no less than 6 minutes long. So I'm just going to summarize the discourse because BookTok is also known for these like very long TikToks that it's not even like you can pull out a 3-minute chunk. So
What?
I know, but BookTok gets really serious. BookTok takes itself very seriously.
Yeah. Oh my
They get very upset.
Yeah.
They get very, and these like etiquette things are very important to them. And I get some of it where it's like, yeah, like readers do need to be able to speak about books and be like, I didn't like this book, in a space where it's like the author isn't going to come in and start fighting them.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? How is BookTok different than like you know, Sydney Sweeney's movies all flopping and then everyone on the internet being like, we hate you?
I think that there's two things, right?
Yeah.
So BookTok, we're saying, is like a community similar to like sports fans and sports forums of like, a sports fan, if someone says the Knicks suck or I didn't like the Knicks players today, if a Knick writes back and is like, whatever, like, it's weird, like, you don't do that, right? Or like getting on Sports Center and like going aggressive for someone, analyzing the sports game, right? That's different. And then Sydney Sweeney, we talked about Sydney Sweeney last week, and it's basically like Sydney Sweeney marketed a movie that was basically for queer people and like about a queer woman, and she's like not disavowing white supremacy, and she's also pro-Trump, like she's a registered Republican. So it's like, people are not gonna like, the people who you want to support you are not gonna support you. That's the whole thing. But like with this thing is like the etiquette of the culture of, if you want to read books, if you want to engage in the book community, and it's tough because you do want, like, if you're popular or talked about on BookTok, period, like there are millions like they have revitalized the book industry. There's tons of money to be made. There's all this shit with books, book clubs, all this stuff, like books are in right now, so you don't want to you know, so you got to know the nuances.
Hey, no disrespect to BookTok. If you listening to me, I just finished the book.
What book did you finish?
I forgot who wrote it, but it was called Martyr.
Okay.
Y'all know about Martyr?
No, but
that shit was crazy.
There you go. I bet BookTok would know.
Yeah, so you could say like, oh, I really liked Martyr, but then if the Martyr, or like, I didn't really like this character, and then the Martyr character is like, well, you can return it. It's like, oh my god.
But then, okay, but sorry, then I'm thinking about Cardi B and like how she responded to that one girl about, what was it? Oh, that she like said fat or something like that. She said more than
we
that.
talked about that.
Yeah.
That was not cool.
So she should have respected that and not been a part of it. If we're looking at a parallel here,
I personally always come down on the side of I think that celebrities should very, very minimally engage. Like unless something is like really harmful or really hateful, or like there's like a very, very serious need for you to like correct the record or speak back about something, I think that it's always better probably to not respond.
I think with the Cardi B thing, it was like punching down.
Yeah.
Because it was like making fun of a disadvantaged group that supported her.
Yeah.
I think with the thing with the girl was that the influencer that she feuded with, which this is a whole other ethical thing with tweets and stuff like that. The influencer that she feuded in, she's an influencer. She has like 300,000 followers or whatever. Like, it's a little bit more equal playing field for Cardi B to call her out. But what a lot of people do, which is a huge no-no on Twitter, on thing, is if somebody with 0 followers or 16 followers or 20 say something mildly critical, and then the person's like, fuck you, what's going to happen is all of the Cardi B stans are now going to attack. You know what I mean? Or like all the Elyse Meyer fans are gonna attack Abigail Vintage or whatever.
Yeah, that actually is like perfect for our next. So our next slide, basically I was like rounding up the two different kind of camps here. And so, okay, we have on the one side, we have BookTok people who are saying she shouldn't be responding to reviews. She should know that's not how it's done. You know, she's a 32-year-old woman. She entered this space on purpose. This like, aw shucks, I didn't know act is like, you know, I saw some people being like, it's kind of classic white woman tears shit.
Yeah, I see that. Well, I see the like, it's always in the last sentence. Like, you can return it. I'll try to filter better. Thanks for letting me know. I'm like, okay, girl.
It's that very like, hope this helps culture where it's like, it's always kind of meant a little shady. But, and then another big thing is we see these people saying, yes, I think this is the main point here. This is from Angela Reed's books, that it draws her fans to come to her defense. I've been around enough in these circles that it really is just the best for authors not to comment on negative posts about their books, to which Elyse Myers says, I'm genuinely sorry I opened it up to that. I thought my response was kind, and I don't know, I didn't know I wasn't allowed to respond to a review of my book. This is new to me, so I'm learning as I go. Thanks for letting me know, which is like kind of exactly the thing you were talking about. So basically, this is like the two poles. So we have the one side that's like, you're not supposed to do this. She should have known. It's your job to like be educated about the etiquette of the space that you're entering, and like, I don't buy this little like act that you're doing. And then on the other side, we have people who are saying, you know, at the end of the day, she is a debut author who came from TikTok. Like, these rules aren't written down somewhere, and like, if your publisher isn't gonna go through this with you, if you're someone who's coming from the outside, like, it's not like you go to author school and they like tell you this type of stuff. If you're coming at it from a place that's outside of BookTok, you actually might not fucking know. Like, I didn't know until I started engaging with this stuff that there's like real rules around this. And then another kind of sub argument is people are saying, yeah, you're not supposed to go into like Goodreads and Amazon, but Threads isn't actually like a reader space in the same way of Goodreads and Amazon, because your content gets served. You can be served content that isn't like you actually going and looking for it, which is what Elyse says happens here. And so it's different than like going to Goodreads, looking up reviews of your book and responding to them. You might get like served it. And if you actually want to be putting reviews out that an author might not see, you shouldn't be doing it on Threads where that could happen. So you don't buy that at all.
I don't buy that. That's bullshit. Conversation happens. Again, if it's an extreme review or a positive one, I think it's okay to respond. Like, positive reviews, that's kind of how you respond to negative reviews. You highlight the positive ones, you keep reposting it, you say thank you so much for reading, thank you for engaging, and you don't engage with the negative ones, because the more you engage, the more whatever. I think that if it was insanely negative where she was served something and it's like, this is the worst piece of shit I've ever read, please return it. Okay, but this is like, ugh, I like her. I'm not really like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and then she's replying a little bit too much for that to be like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Oh my God. And it's like, that was 2 responses ago. You need to stop. You need to stop. Cut it out. You have 7 million followers. You know how to engage with fans. If you have 7 million followers and 3 million on Instagram, 7 million on TikTok, you know how to engage with fans. You know what's whatever. Probably also on TikTok, people respond no matter what. So maybe it's TikTok etiquette.
That's what
whatever.
I also heard is that people were like, this is also a clash of like, she's behaving in like a TikTok way where like on TikTok, you do respond to everything and you address stuff and you link the comment.
Thank you. And then people are like, oh, I'm so sorry.
And like you do all of this, but this is actually not how shit is done in the BookTok threads, especially like review space. Because obviously BookTok people will fight with each other. It's different. But like a review space, you're not supposed to do this. So at this point, I've laid it all out for both of you. Who do you guys feel should touch grass, if anyone?
Oh my God, I feel like me.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's always
I feel like I
valid.
learned I've been so quiet because I'm like, and what happened?
Yeah.
This has been so crazy. And I thought I was on the internet a lot.
But you're on a different part of the internet.
There's a whole
This
lot
happened
of
with
internet.
Glow too.
Oh my gosh.
Glow release.
There's
Oh
so
my gosh.
many little corners of the internet where people are fighting about stuff that you would never have heard about.
I feel like I need to go to BookTok and find my corner and see what people are, because I have some books that I'll die for, like Freshwater
and
too.
Like, you have a great BookTok account, by the way, that's just you reviewing books that you read.
Oh my God, please.
That would be amazing.
But the thing about BookTok is that people find like, oh, I liked Martyr. So you look up Martyr on TikTok and you see, okay, who's talking about Martyr? And they're like, if you like Martyr, you might like this. And then you read that book and then you hear about the thing. So that's the same thing too, where this girl's like, hey, I like this author. I didn't like the book. Did anyone else have a hard time? So it's all that. I'm going to go ahead and say, I think Elise needs to go touch grass. She's doing it like very like, if you peel back the meat, like the wrapping paper as to what she's saying, it's bullshit. Like she's using very flowery, nice language. Like, I'm learning, la la. You have millions of followers. You have a whole business. You're a New York Times bestseller. Either you're clueless and you don't know what's going on, or you do, and you say my bad and move on. But like, she's trying to straddle both and it's annoying.
I think that I'm ultimately coming down with you. I think that she is the one who ultimately needs to touch grass. BookTok is doing what BookTok does. BookTok is doing what it exists to do. I maybe give a little more credence to her being like, I didn't know. Like, I get her not knowing, but at the same time, I do think it's like you got to respond once and move on for your own self.
Yeah.
To mildly negative. Again, if someone's death threats, this and that, you're a bitch, you're ugly. I'd go, because I'm known to go in whatever.
Yeah?
And, well, I used to. It used to be really bad, both of us.
Block and report.
Yeah, we both had to take stock.
Well, you know, exactly.
My block list is crazy.
Yeah, and you got to keep, that's how it is. Now on Twitter, even if I see something I don't like, I'll block. I'm like, I actually don't need to ever hear from this person ever, and they didn't even do anything to me. But yeah, I'm just like, I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. So then we're going to say, Elyse Meyers, for the crime of replying in reader spaces, we must say,
go touch grass.
And that's our episode. Michelladonna, you were the most amazing guest we knew that you would be.
You. I learned so much.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to tell someone everything I
about
heard today.
Bubba.
Yeah.
And all
about
of
that,
it.
how Bubba's a horse.
Just and then the book talk and then the different, oh my God.
I know, it's a lot. Well, it was so funny because when you sat down, you were like, so what do y'all talk about? And I was like, just get ready. Just
yeah.
strap in.
There's no way to prep you for
Yeah.
There's
But
no way to prep you
I mean,
for
I
this.
learned so much, and I'm definitely going on BookTok, and I'm gonna stay away from the news. And yeah, this is crazy.
So why don't you tell our listeners where once you start your BookTok account and you're getting involved, where can they follow you, find you, see your show dates, all of this stuff?
Absolutely. You can follow me at Michelladonna on TikTok and Instagram. That's where I really put everything there. And if you really want to tap in, you could tap into my listserv, my email, listserv, and I could tell y'all. But yeah, I mean, that's where I post everything, and maybe something coming up soon. in
We
the
love a teaser.
Woo,
And yes, and I'll be I'm starting to crowdfund for my short film. It's gonna be a queer short film.
Nice.
Exciting.
It's about a queer bisexual love triangle, ambition, power,
Love it.
spirituality,
Amazing.
and salsa.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Those
no.
are all I can see all the book talk tags on
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, we got to get the book talk girls involved.
Come on
Yes.
over. It's basically a book except you don't read and it's on the screen.
Yeah.
It's a
And
it's
that's
a
an
movie.
amazing description.
That's an amazing
of
description. A book you don't read that's on the screen.
That's
If you
amazing.
want a book you can listen that's on your headphones, follow at
Yes.
Go Touch Grass Pod everywhere on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter. You can follow me at Millie_Tamaris on Instagram and Twitter, or on Instagram and TikTok, and Millie Tamaris on Twitter.
And you can follow me at Pandalise on Instagram, at TikTok, or at Elise Navidad on TikTok. It's kind of like a book about my life that I'm not writing that you can see on your phone.
Exactly.
And
Picture book.
a picture book. It's a picture book about my life that's on your phone.
And the Japan chapter is
Really,
crazy.
really good. All right, and until next time,
Go touch grass.
Yay!
we did it.
We did it.
That was gorgeous.
Wow.